Welcome to YouTube channel of Computational Genome Biology.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are heading into some of the harshest places on Earth to uncover a kind of hidden biological code. We're going to explore how the survival secrets of the planet's toughest creatures could literally unlock the future of our own health and longevity. Okay, so let's just dive right into this. It's a pretty wild question, isn't it? I mean, it sounds like something straight out of science fiction. But here's the thing. Researchers are now taking this question very seriously. They're starting to believe that by studying nature's absolute masters of survival, we might just stumble upon the blueprint for our own resilience. So, let's meet some of these masters of the desert, animals like the Arabian oryx or the kangaroo rat. These guys don't just survive in conditions that would be completely lethal to us, they actually thrive. And that presents a fascinating paradox that scientists are dying to solve. I mean, you really have to appreciate the scale of the challenge here. These animals are facing a constant, daily barrage of physiological stress. We're talking scorching heat, then near-freezing nights, almost no water, and a food supply that's totally unpredictable. And yet, against all those odds, a lot of them live surprisingly long lives. So how on earth do they do it? For a long time, we figured the answer had to be buried purely in their DNA sequence. But it turns out the real secret, the source of their so-called superpowers, is actually in this hidden layer of control, a dynamic system that's telling their genes exactly how and when to act. And this hidden layer? Well, it has a name: epigenetics. The best way to think about it is like this. It's the biological software that runs on the hardware of our DNA. And it's this software that allows for incredible adaptation and control, all without ever changing the underlying code. To put it simply, epigenetics is all about these tiny chemical tags that attach to our DNA. You can think of these tags as switches, or maybe even dimmer knobs and volume controls for our genes. They can crank a gene up to fight off stress, or turn another one completely off to save energy. And it's all happening in direct response to the outside world. So let's stick with that computer analogy. If your DNA is the hardware, the permanent blueprint of the machine, then your epigenome is the software. It's the programs running on that hardware. It's adaptable, it's responsive, and it can actually be updated by your experiences, like, say, living in the harsh environment of a desert. And this biological software, it's so sophisticated, it can even create what you might call cellular memory. It lets an animal's body literally remember stresses it's faced before. So when a seasonal heat wave starts rolling in, its cells are already primed and ready to go, prepared to respond way more efficiently than they did the last time. Okay, so how do scientists actually read this incredibly complex biological software? Well, it takes a seriously powerful, high-tech toolkit, one that combines biology with massive, massive computational power. Let's break down how it works. So researchers follow this four-step process. First, they map the epigenome, which means they're looking for the patterns of all those little chemical switches. Second, they mash that up with all sorts of other biological data, genomics, proteomics, the whole nine yards. Third, and this part is absolutely critical, they unleash machine learning to sift through these gigantic datasets. And finally, the AI helps them pinpoint the key networks, what they call longevity circuits that are controlling resilience. And let me be clear. Without machine learning, this would be completely impossible. We are talking about finding the tiniest signal in an ocean of biological noise. It's the AI that lets scientists spot those common survival strategies, these conserved longevity circuits that have evolved again and again and again in totally different species. Right, so this is the crucial question. What in the world does the epigenetic code of a kangaroo rat have to do with you and me? Well, this is where all that research becomes a potential blueprint for totally revolutionizing human health. It turns out these survival pathways are deeply ancient and have been highly conserved throughout evolution. What that means is the same basic circuits that protect a desert animal from, say, oxidative stress or dehydration, they're present in our own biology too. We've got the hardware. We just need to learn how to run their software. And the potential targets here are some of the biggest hallmarks of aging itself. Things like dialing down chronic inflammation, protecting our cells from damage, boosting the energy factories in our mitochondria, and just making sure our proteins are all working correctly. These are basically the pillars of a long, healthy life. The real-world applications could be just profound. I mean, if we could understand how desert animals keep their kidneys safe from extreme dehydration, that could lead to new therapies for kidney failure. If we learn how they manage intense heat, that could save lives from heat stroke. And their metabolic efficiency, that could give us new ways to fight diseases like diabetes. It's huge.
Now, when you zoom out a bit, the implications of this research are, well, they're truly staggering. We're on the verge of not just treating diseases, but potentially rewriting our own biological future.
So what might that future actually look like? Well, these epigenetic lessons could help us adapt to a warming planet, they could help protect astronauts on long trips to Mars, and they could lead to a whole new class of drugs that basically mimic nature's absolute best survival tricks. One of the researchers involved in this work really put it best. They said this isn't just about understanding animals anymore. It's about deciphering a biological manual that could guide the future health and resilience of our entire species. But of course, this incredible power brings with it an equally profound question. As we get the ability to actually rewrite our own biological software, we have to ask ourselves, where exactly is the line between healing and enhancement? How do we balance this incredible promise of curing disease with the very real ethical challenge of, well, packing our own evolution? It's a question we're all going to need to think about as this science keeps moving forward. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe to Computational Genome Biology.